I don't know if I can do this tonight. I owe you all an apology. A big one. What I said about Charlie Kirk, it was vile. It was wrong and it's unforgivable. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I've spent my whole life trying to make people laugh, to bring joy. Now, I've hurt people. I've hurt all of you. And Next Star, all 32 stations they're pulling my show. They're done with me, and I don't blame them. I've let down every single person in those communities. Family, kids, everyone who trusted me. I'm begging you, Next Star. ABC, please, don't take this away from me. Don't cancel me. This show is my life. I'm begging you for your forgiveness. I'll do anything to make this right. This is all Trump's fault. He made this happen. He wanted it to happen. Donald Trump did this. His poison, his hate, his endless lies. He's infected all of us. I got sucked into it. His toxic swamp he's created. I said something awful because of his divisiveness. It pushed me to a place I never wanted to go. I'm not this person. I'm not a monster. I'm just a guy who made a terrible mistake. I'm so sorry about what I said about Charlie. I'm so sorry. It was wrong. It was cruel, and I didn't mean it. I swear. I didn't mean it. I'm begging you, please forgive me. I let you all down. My audience, my fans, my bank account. Please don't cancel me. I'm just heartbroken over my words that caused you all so much pain. This isn't me. This is not the real Jimmy Kimmel. This isn't me. It's all Trump's fault. I would never act like this without his divisiveness. He infected everything. I got caught up in anger because of Trump. I'm so ashamed. Please, Next Star, ABC, don't take my show away. I'll do better. I promise. I just want to make everybody laugh again. Yeah, please.
Good evening, everybody, and I would first and foremost like to apologize for being 1 hour late tonight. It was completely out of my control. I had a previous engagement that was actually an emergency, so I apologize. But I am here now, and I do appreciate everybody that's here right now. So if you guys could do me a huge favor and share out this live, or share a video, or send some money to the United Spot, whatever you want to do, whatever you feel like it. Tammy, thank you for being here. Chad, thank you for being here. Skippy, thank you for being here. James, True Quiet, Bushy McMeatballs, Doomhead, professional bus driver. That's new. I like that. Daniel C is here. Thank you so much for being here. Eric Bernard is here. Thank you so much for being here. James Snyder. Daniel C is here again. The EVN7 is here. And Brian 70 Kuda with the number one slot once again. That's like 4 times this week. Chris Saint, also hello. And the United Spot, how are you? Do me a huge favor and please share this live out. I also have a brand new video that did horribly today. So for the 37 people that are watching right now, please go to the United Spot YouTube channel and share the entire heck out of this particular video right here. And I'm going to show you which one it is. As you can tell, barely anybody got to see it. The title is Trump's Revenge, ? Kimmel and Colbert, unemployed overnight comedies dead. If anybody can recognize this scene, Seth Rogen's hair is on Jimmy Kimmel. Number one, it's from the 40-year-old virgin scene where they're playing video games. So if you could do me a huge favor and go over to the United Spot YouTube channel, which you're already at, click like, maybe leave a comment and share it with everybody. It's got Stephen Colbert, whatever the hell you want to call him. He's unemployed now. It doesn't really matter. And it's got Jimmy Kimmel with the Seth Rogen do. So we're going to watch it right now just because I like you guys so much. And there's the scene. There's the scene. They're playing video games. So do me a huge favor.
You know, I know we're screwed.
We can't just do that here. We're living in a society. Okay. Huge thank you to everybody that's here. Tough Run Metal Detecting. James Snyder is here. So the United Spot is still raising money for the United Spot. So if you're able to, there's a PayPal that is in the description or bio of the United Spot, and also a Cash App. So if you are feeling froggy, if you have some extra money and you want to help out a original content creator to keep going, that would be amazing. That would be great. So huge thank you to everybody that has donated already. Thank you for the memberships. Thank you for the super thanks. Thank you for the subscribing to the United Spot YouTube channel. And most of all, thank you for watching and liking and all that good stuff. So there's a topic that's going on right now about free speech. Of course, we are at the moment where it's Democrats' turn to blame the Republicans and conservatives and the whatevers that they're taking the free speech. Now, not long ago, Donald Trump's Twitter account was suspended. Not long ago, pretty much every conservative, every Republican was censored on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and yours truly, YouTube. I, for one, am still facing that, and nothing's being done about it. So if the Democrats and the liberals and the whatevers, if they want to talk about censorship, we know all too well what's going on. Now, the difference between censorship, freedom of speech, and everything else that they're talking about, there's a difference. There's a difference. Now, in freedom of speech, you could say whatever you want. Absolutely, 100%. You can say whatever you want, but be ready for the consequences. Now, as a content creator, as a comedy account, as somebody that creates memes, I do, kind of skits that some people find, like, hey, you're pushing it. I have, full control of what I do here. And it's up to me to decide if I want to take it to that level or if I want to, learn to do comedy without being so vulgar or shocking or racist or hateful or violent. I'm none of those. I am a comedy account, and I use my expert skills in the comedy field to create funny videos without the use of really tearing people apart in a way where even, a guy that usually is using the F word every 14 seconds, whoa, the United Spot kind of went nuts on this one. So everybody has freedom of speech. Everybody has freedom of speech. But it's how you use your freedom of speech, okay? Expect there to be consequences. Now, Jimmy Kimmel, this guy's been on TV for how long? He's going to be fine. He's been on TV for, longer than most kids in their 30s. He was extremely offensive on something that was a very sensitive topic. He was ridiculous. No different than what's her name, the Carrot Top, Kathy Griffin. And then they're like, oh, what happened? What did I do? Oh, come on. There's a way to be funny, and there's a way to really push the envelope. Now, if I was, leaning left, if I was paid by Soros, if I was woke, if I was this, if I was that, I would say to myself, listen, I'm on live TV or, obviously previously recorded television. and I've got a somewhat decent following on the left, and and whatever the heck. And some people watch me because they want to get upset with me and leave bad comments. Maybe I shouldn't say anything bad about somebody who was just taken from this earth and from his wife and from his children and from his family and friends. Maybe I shouldn't touch on that at this moment, even though every grifter account on X and Facebook and Instagram is taking full on advantage of that for clicks. They're getting money. And accounts that had said horrible things about him before are now cleaning up their timelines, and they're just doing nothing but, oh, he was such a great guy. This is horrible. I loved him. I've always loved him. The funny thing about that, though, is obviously they're getting lots of views, they're getting lots of clicks, and they're probably making a lot of money. The funny thing about that is, as they're going through their timeline and cleansing, because there's a way you can do that on X. You go to your search bar inside of your profile and you type in Charlie or you type in Kirk. And every post you've ever made about him will show up. So you think, because there's probably about 100 posts that won't show up. But you know who they will show up for? The people that follow you. The people that don't follow you, who are just visiting your account to kind of test the waters. And guess what? They'll find it. I found it. I found it on many, many accounts who are actually doing horrible things. They're taking advantage of this situation. It's repulsive. But it's the internet, and you got to deal with it. If you're gonna go swimming, you're gonna get wet, and the internet is extremely moist. As you would always say. So we're left with what? Something extremely tragic happened, and I really hope nobody forgets this, because the sad part about it is, there's a lot of people that are just going to move on, and they're never going to bring it up again. And then the left is going to get comfortable. The Democrats are going to get comfortable, and then they're going to start poking fun, and they're going to start doing their thing because, it's been a couple weeks, and, everybody's gotten on with their lives, and they're watching Netflix again, and they're going out, and they're living, and, they've somewhat forgotten. But there are going to be a lot of people who don't forget, and they're going to remind the people. And I hope that happens because, when you're good, when you're a God-loving man, and you just want the best, you deserve to have a legacy that goes on for a very long time. And he deserved that. His children deserve that, and his wife, who is now in charge of Turning Point, she deserves that too as well. Because that was horrific for anybody to go through something like that. So let's do better. So let's play a video. Let me know what you think.
I know we're screwed.
How?
My show got canceled because I made one little joke about Charlie.
It was a funny joke, though.
Yeah, I know, but Trump's FCC goon squad came for my license anyway.
I know we're screwed.
How?
My show got canceled after I called out Paramount for bribing Trump with a $16 million payout.
Classic.
I know. And now I'm over here winning an Emmy for a show that's already
Wait,
gone.
you won an Emmy?
Yeah, I got a trophy for failing. That's like getting a gold star for sucking.
I know you're screwed.
How?
We're both out of a job, and your only qualification is door greeter at Walmart.
Welcome to rock bottom. Can I interest you in some expired coupons? You know how I know you're screwed?
How?
You're so desperate you're begging Joy Behar for a job on The View.
Hey, it's good honest work, though.
The View's gonna get canceled next anyways.
Hey, you know how I know we're both screwed?
How?
We went full woke.
Yeah, it got pretty crazy.
Yeah, we thought slamming Trump every night was going to make us heroes.
But instead, we're unemployed.
Yeah.
And he's tweeting victory laps on Truth Social.
He knew I was getting canceled. It was all part of his master plan.
You know how I know we're really screwed?
How?
I spent 10 years dunking on Trump, and now my Emmy's just a fancy paperweight.
What are we going to do? My only skill is not being funny and bagging on Trump.
My only skill is...
What?
My only skill is...
What? You know how I know we're extra screwed?
How?
I got a plan B. I'm going to be on The View. I maybe even get my own podcast. But you? You're going to be asking paper or plastic while Trump's laughing from the White House.
We bet on woke and we lost, man.
Yeah.
You know how I know we're really the screwedest?
How?
We're sitting here blaming Trump for everything. Cancellations, ratings, my car's check engine light. When we actually did this to ourselves.
Yeah, we went all in on the sanctimonious snark, and Now you're Googling Cracker Barrel apron sizes, and I'm begging Whoopi for a job.
Yeah, well, Trump still sucks, though.
Yeah. Race to the unemployment line, loser.
So I hope you liked that one. I worked really hard on that. Wasn't my greatest video, but it was definitely to the point. So if you guys are watching this right now, please go to the United Spot YouTube channel, click subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and send me all your money. That would mean a lot. So empty your bank accounts and send anything that you got this Christmas. It's going to be Christmas again. Why not send it to the United Spot? Make a donation today. I also want to share this video with you too, because this one I worked extremely hard on. This has so much information. Anyone who watches this video and doesn't understand what happened word for word really needs to rethink their spot in the political following. This video right here deserves an award, and I'm saying that with all due respect. I worked tirelessly on this particular video for one purpose and one purpose only: to expose the truth so rapidly and so expressively that General Flynn shared this video and wrote an amazing paragraph of how well the video was created. Now you're talking about a 4-star general sharing a meme video, but you have to understand, even though I'm a comedy account, every once in a while I'll throw in a little seriousness. And the reason I do that is because every once in a while I need to let people know that I'm not just a funny guy. I do have a very serious side, and I take what I do, and I take politics, and I take America very, very seriously. So if you see a Joker video, and if you see a video where you're like, wait, am I supposed to laugh at this? That's when you know the United Spot is being serious. Now, I will tell you that 99.9% of the time, I'm here to make you laugh. But my goal is to take current events and expose the truth, expose the corruption, expose the criminal activity with humor. And that's what I've been doing for a little over 10 years. And I hope to continue doing this. And with a community like this, how could I go wrong? You guys have built this for me and the United Spot, and it's great. So it's awesome. So Night King, thank you for being here. Brian, Chad, Tammy, Star is here. Great to see you. I'm not saying your name right, but Kepesk. How are you? Randy Weidman, Caucasian Debris is here. Skippy is here. Alien Truth Seeker. John Castaneda, thank you so much for being here. Always great to see you here. And once again, thank you for your donation the other night. It's hit or miss if anybody is able to hear sometimes. That's why I hate posting on X, because I'll say thank you to somebody, and not John, not Tammy, because they always see it. I tell you what, if there was an award to give out, seriously, for like super supporters, I would seriously. John, I can't name anybody, but I've already ruined the surprise. But let's just say that there are. I appreciate you all, but there are some that are like wearing capes when they support the United Spot. So I do truly appreciate that. But that's why I hate posting on X or replying to comments on X, because I always like to let people know I appreciate, if they say like, oh, nice video or whatever, and I'll say thank you. And it will have 0 likes, 0 views, 0 nothings. Well, it's just like, where did that go? Where did that post just go? It's like it just went into the abyss. But this is why I like doing these lives, because that way I can thank you guys and let you guys know how much I appreciate the support. Because without you guys, I'd be sitting in the bathroom trying to figure out what it is that I want in life. And with you guys, I have a purpose. Jay, great to see you here. Kevin Leach is here. James Snyder is here. Randy Wine, the Corruption Zone Legacy meeting. I don't know where Frank is. Frank was put in a timeout last night. I think he took it really personal. And I'm glad he did. Maybe that'll wake Frank up. Because there's one thing. I don't mind free speech. I don't mind you expressing your opinion. I don't care if you disagree with me. I don't care if you call me stupid. I don't care if you say I'm a dork or a moron, or if you want to say my dog smells funny. I don't care. You can say whatever you want. But just say it once. And then after that, say something else. Or, maybe rephrase the first thing that you did. But don't just keep reposting the same exact thing, because not only does it piss off YouTube, but it pisses off the community here. And we got a pretty good community. We barely have any trolls in here, literally. Like, we're pretty much 99.9999% no trolls, which is awesome. And, when the trolls come in, we treat them with kindness, and they get confused. They're like, where am I? Why aren't you being mean to me? Why are you treating me so with respect? I deserve to be treated like an animal. I want to report your channel. Give me something to work with. But it's not going to happen. So Jimmy Kimmel, after years of being, I'm okay, listen, I'm going to disagree with Trump. There was a moment where Jimmy Kimmel was funny. There was a few, I used to watch Jimmy Kimmel when I was younger. He's been around for a long time. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, he's never been funny. He has been, he was funny. When he stopped being funny is when he took the woke agenda, when he took politics way too seriously and only cater to one side. And when you cater to one side on a national level, on a syndicated, nighttime talk show such as that, you kind of ruin your odds of grasping the point of catering to everyone. He really did a horrible job. So, funny people can be unfunny very quickly. Very, very funny. I've seen people I just laugh out loud at some of these people. And as soon as they take a turn into a different avenue, they're no longer funny. Even if, and I just choose not to support them anymore. And, in the last, I want to say probably 8-10 years, maybe even 12, 13. We can go back a lot, but I don't want to, it's hard for some people, especially, to sit there and remember what happened yesterday. But we've been going through a lot, and the last thing we need is somebody sitting there as a comedian trying to deter you from common sense, to deter you from, he was literally telling his fans that somebody that wants to help this country is the enemy. How do you do that? It's just, so the one thing that I would say, because, I'm a firm believer in getting rid of propaganda. Propaganda, people wonder why is the media not arrested? How come they, blah, 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 this and blah, 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 that? Because propaganda is legal. It's 100% legal. Don Lemon, if he was still employed with CNN, Wolf Blitzer, Anderson Cooper, Rachel Maddow, all those people can actually get on their, media shows and say whatever they want. And they are protected. They are protected. They could say whatever they want. And that's something that Obama designed. In the Smith-Mundt Act, that's something that I really hope that everybody is paying attention to, because what they're going to do is they're going to try and bury that again. It's been hidden. It's been literally hidden. I've done several videos about the Smith-Mundt Act. It's been hidden. And nobody on this earth, especially if you have a job, if you're working even just 8 hours a day, nobody is going to read through 1,000 pages of legislation. They're not going to read through a bill. They're not going to read through any kind of policy, anything. They're not going to do it because there's so many other things to do. Most people would rather read the Bible, or they would rather read Mad Magazine, or they would rather read anything, Webster's Dictionary, the DMV manual, anything other than a bill, especially when it's worded so confusingly. Nobody can understand it, and they like that. I'm gonna explain to you what it is. It's funny. I had a conversation with YouTube the other day. I said, it would be a shame if I found out the cure for most, horrible things because nobody would see it. I mean, it would be, but I'm going to play you a video, and be aware that I use comedy to expose the truth. So when you see something like this, you have to understand, you can laugh. It's perfectly fine to laugh, but listen to what is being said, because the information is going to hit you softer, and it's going to be easier to understand when it's not coming at you at 100 miles an hour, and it's not coming at you with big words that capture your emotion, even though you have zero idea what it means. And that's the problem with the media. That's the problem with these journalists. That's the problem with these big, huge influencers. They use big words to sound smart, but you still have zero clue what the hell they're talking about at the end of the day. I can listen to one of the biggest influencers out there, and he can sit there and explain this, and he can explain what's in toothpaste, and he can explain, how a computer works and why water comes through the faucet. And at the end of his speech, I will have zero clue what the hell he's talking about, because he's already gotten it pre-written to sound like he's professional and educated, even though he probably only got an 8th grade education. But he said, hey, Siri, hey, ChatGPT, hey, can you help me out, Grok? Write me a speech so I can sound smart. Here's the theory. So watch this. Let me know what you think. This is the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act performed by Nancy Pelosi.
Good evening, peasants. Tonight I want to share a little secret about how we successful people keep the wheels of power turning smoothly. It's called the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act. Let me tell you, it's a masterpiece for Democrats. Back in 2012, tucked away neatly into the National Defense Authorization Act, we passed this wonderful miracle. It repealed the old Smith-Mundt Act's ban on spreading government-produced content, like Voice of America, right here at home. Before, we could only whisper our narratives abroad. Now, we can broadcast them to every American, loud and clear. Why is it so good for us? It's simple. Propaganda. Oh, let's call it strategic messaging. Let's just shape the story. We decide what the peasants and the struggling masses believe. It's not about truth. It's about control. And control keeps us wealthy, powerful, and untouched, while the rest of you peasants stay poor, divided, and distracted. The act lets us flood the airwaves with stories that pit the weak against each other. Race, class, ideology. Divide and conquer, I always say. While they're busy fighting over scraps, we secure tax breaks for corporation trade deals for billionaires and cushy positions for our loyalists. It's a beautiful system. You dummies out there probably have no idea what I'm talking about. That's how I like it. You see, peasants out there are just collateral damage. You're too busy hating your neighbors to notice we're rigging the whole system. With media partners on our side, we craft narratives to keep you all angry, confused, and powerless. The Smith-Mundt Modernization Act makes it legal, easy, and oh so effective. So here's to the act, tool that keeps our elites circling, thriving, while the masses scramble below. It's not just good for Democrats, it's essential for keeping power where it belongs. With us. The powerful, the wealthy, the untouchable, and the above the law. Cheers to propaganda. My friends, it's how we rule. Long may we reign!
Racism to control the narrative?
No, sir.
Ever had to make calls to keep Democrats safe while trying to fill your bank account with tax?
Former President Obama. A moment ago, you said you instructed your team Clapper, Brennan, Rice, Comey, McCabe, Stroh, and Rosenstein not to interfere with the 2016 election. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And they were clear on your orders.
Crystal.
Any chance Clapper ignored your orders and pushed the Russia hoax anyways?
Hey, I followed protocol. The intel was fluid.
Hey, Clapper, shut up.
Any chance old man Brennan doctored the Steele dossier to smear Trump?
The dossier was raw intel. I didn't fabricate anything.
Hey, can you shut these guys up?
Any chance Rice unmasked Trump's team for political gain?
Unmasking was routine. I protected national security.
Susan, shh.
When you told Comey and McCabe to stand down, any chance they greenlit Crossfire Hurricane anyway?
We investigated based on evidence. Yeah, there was legitimate concerns about Russian ties. We had to protect the republic.
Hey, Trump, can I get some respect here? I'm the former president of the United States. Think I've earned it.
No, you're not going to get any respect. Not after what you put America through. And you'll address me as President Trump. I think I've earned it. Burn!
Well, we're waiting.
Have you ever lied to a country, Miss Gabbard?
No, sir.
Ever balanced global alliances with drones to take out threats and use racism to control the narrative?
No, sir.
Ever had to make calls to keep Democrats safe while trying to fill your bank account with taxpayer money?
No, sir.
My team always followed orders, Miss Gabbard. They followed orders, or the Democrats failed. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Are we clear?
Crystal. But I do have one more question before I call Hillary Clinton and Peter Stroh. If you ordered your team not to spy on Trump's campaign, and your orders are always followed, why was there a Crossfire Hurricane investigation at all?
Well, there were concerns about foreign interference.
But that's not what you said. You said there was no interference. You told Clapper no cyber attacks altered the election.
That's what we assessed in 2016.
Yet you pushed the Russian narrative. Why?
It was a precaution.
A precaution or a coup? Because you said there was no threat. Yet your team launched a years-long investigation.
I recall what
I can have the court reporter read it back to you.
I know what I said. I don't need it read back to me like I'm some
Then
kind
why
of...
the two stories? Mr. President, why did you...
Sometimes people act on their own.
No, you said your team never acts on their own. They follow orders or the Democrats fail. So why was Trump's campaign spied on?
President Trump, we've got the FISA warrants, and they're riddled with errors.
And the dossier has Hillary's fingerprints all over it.
I did what any patriot would do. Order in the court. Your Honor, we need an answer. America's waiting, Barack. Spill it.
Well,
If your team followed orders, then why was Trump's campaign under surveillance?
You ordered their surveillance, didn't you? Because that's what you told your team to do. And when it started to unravel, you threw your staff under the bus. You falsified classified memos to cover your tracks. You manipulated the intelligence reports. Former President Obama, did you order the surveillance of Trump's campaign? Obama, you don't have to answer that.
I'll answer the question. So America wants answers.
I think America's entitled.
America wants answers?
America wants the truth.
America can't handle the truth.
Hey, is that Obama up there? Hey.
We live in a world of threats, Miss Gabbard. Threats you don't see. Who's going to handle it? You? You, Joe Biden? I had a greater responsibility to destroy this country than you can possibly fathom. You cry about FISA abuses and dossier lies, but America has the luxury of ignorance, of not knowing that destroying America would make me rich. And I know what I did saved the Democrats. My actions, while grotesque and unpatriotic to you, kept the Democrats safe.
Hey, is this Delaware?
We use words like hope, change, security. They're the backbone of the Democratic Party I defended. You use them as a punchline in your MAGA jokes. I don't have the time to explain myself to a country who rises and sleeps under the blanket of treasonous racist destruction that I provided, then questions me on what I lied about. I would rather you just say thank you and move on, or pick up a drone and stand a post. Either way, I don't give a damn about what America wants.
President Obama, did you order the Crossfire Hurricane?
You're goddamn right I did.
Cash, read this.
So after creating videos now for a very long time, that is currently my favorite video ever. And I hate to, judge my videos, but that was a great video. So I worked really hard on that one. Once again, I wanted to apologize for being an hour late tonight. Like I said, I got off work, came straight home and finished up a video that I've been working on since yesterday. That's the horrible thing, is that now videos that I used to, spend all day working on, I have to break them up into pieces now because I'm a big boy with a big boy job. So by the time I get home, all the things that I wanted to do, I have to, redo them. And then sometimes it gets too late and it's, I have to wait till the next day to either upload it, because anything after, a certain period, YouTube just says, I'm not going to show this at all. So I was very fortunate to end up finishing the video in time. But I really hope people get to see it because it's kind of funny. But my video yesterday of Jimmy Kimmel crying was extremely funny. Sorry, I started thinking about something and I forgot that I was doing this live. What was I going to say? Tomorrow is Friday. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing the live at the regular time. And I'll be doing that tomorrow. Saturday, I will not be doing a live. I will be uploading a video or two, but I will not be doing a live because I'm going to be actually out of the state. So I'm helping out a friend, but I will be back on Sunday for the regular time for the live. So you are all dismissed. You can all have the day off. So, but I really hope everybody's, doing okay because, you got Nancy Pelosi talking trash. You got Elizabeth Warren talking trash. You got Chuck Schumer and Maxine Waters and Jasmine Crockett, jeez, AOC and Bernie and everybody, Obama and Hillary and Gavin Newsom, and they're making all these snide comments. I hate word. I don't like even using that word, but it clearly explains what they're doing. They think that they're being funny. Like you have 80-year-olds sitting there trying to act like they're, in their 20s with their little TikToks and their little, the way they talk and the way they, they're cussing and they think it's so cute. And then you got guys like Cory Booker and Eric Swalwell and Adam Schiff. And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that people follow these people. Literally, you know what? Hey, if you don't like Trump, that's your deal. I don't hate you for it. I don't dislike you for it. Live your life. That's fine. But if your reasoning for listening to Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Eric Swalwell and Jasmine and Ilhan and T-Lab and Ayanna Presley and the rest of the F around gang, if that's your only reason for listening to those people, wow, that's horrible. I mean, at that point, you just have to say, you know what, I'm just going to think for myself. I'm not going to allow somebody else to take over my brain simply because I don't like Trump. But here's the thing. If you were raised with any kind of common sense, if you were raised with any kind of morals, okay, somebody like President Trump, you would look up to. Now, obviously, you're not spending Thanksgiving dinner with him. You don't live with him. You don't see him on a regular basis. You are somebody that watches him, and you are putting your faith in him. You're hoping that he's the real one. He's the real deal. Now, if this was new, okay, if this was like the first 400 days, whatever. Yeah, I would give you, some leniency to be, I don't know about this. I don't really know this guy. President Trump has been around for a very, very long time. Okay. He's got receipts. Anybody that's ever followed President Trump could see he's been a good guy for a long time. Now, being a good guy obviously doesn't work in America. Okay. Having a heart doesn't work for America, at least not for the Democrats and the liberals. They don't want that. They don't want that. They get on national TV. Who in their right mind would get on national TV and say, hey, why do we need more police? Why do we need to clean up the streets? Why do we need to abolish crime? What is wrong with you? Let the criminals live their life. Who are you to judge what a criminal does? That's their way of thinking. And then their followers are like, yeah, she's exactly right. Why should I butt in when a criminal is just trying to be a criminal? Take, for example, the train. I call it a subway. It's called a train, apparently. And, where that happened. Horrible, horrible. We saw too much. When I used to have a real job before this real job, before the United Spot, I had a coworker who used to send me stuff from the cartel. And anybody that had ever seen videos from the cartel, it's obviously from the black market of the internet. It's horrible, horrible. And these aren't AI; these were real videos. This was long before AI. And the cartel would post these videos because these were trophies to them. And you see something like that, it's just like, please don't ever send me anything like that again. This is what we've seen the last 2 days, or the last 2 days, last month, I would say. And the sad part about it is that young girl, the Ukrainian girl that was on that train, that was released 3 weeks after it happened. Nobody even knew about it. Nobody even knew about it. And if you've watched the video, which I'm sure most of you have, you'll see the most horrible and frightening thing you'll ever see. And it's not even the gruesome violence that had taken place for absolutely zero reason. Just random attack from a very, very unstable person who did not belong anywhere near the free world. That man should have been locked in a cage, and that's it. No more. No more freedom. It was the people who didn't step in, who just casually looked away and let her pass all alone. She was terrified. She was absolutely terrified. The look on her face. And anybody with a daughter knows that you can have a 70-year-old daughter and she's still your little girl. It doesn't matter. She had to go through that knowing there were so many different people on the train. Nobody even looked at her. Now, I think there was somebody, I haven't seen the video for a while, and I really don't want to see it. I just pray for her, and I pray for her family, and it's so sad that had to have happened. But from what I remember, I believe that somebody actually stepped up, and I think she was already gone, or she was on her way out. I mean, but for nobody to even sit with her. I mean, the guy was gone. To sit with her and at least comfort her and let her know that there is at least some kind of civilized people out in this world still. Nobody. They just ignored her. They left her there alone, terrified. How could you, after something like that happening, and knowing that the people that were on the train, that were just normal people just like you and me and her, and they just left her there. Now, nobody can tell you what they're going to do in a situation like that. Fear obviously is a main factor. And if you're not scared of fear, I've been in several situations to where adrenaline gets the best of me and I become superhero. And it's obviously not the best thing to do. I've had screwdrivers pulled on me. I've pretty scary stuff, when you're trying to de-escalate something. But if you have adrenaline, some people have it. Some people just naturally have adrenaline, and it has nothing to do with like thrill, or it has nothing to do with trying to be like a Red Bull athlete. It has to do with making the right decision and protecting people. It's an instinct that most people with common sense and good nature have. Hey, somebody's getting hurt, I need to help. My wife has always yelled at me. And it's not that she doesn't want me to help. It's just, if somebody has a gun, if somebody has a knife, if somebody, you're gone. She doesn't mean anything bad by it, but something like that could happen to anybody. But obviously, if you're not trained to handle a violent attack, or if you have no martial arts experience or boxing experience or self-defense experience, obviously, you're just going to have to, obviously just go with sheer instinct. I've met a lot of people, and this is no joke, met a lot of people that have actually been in really, really scary situations to where they have to defend themselves. and they're terrified. They have no skill. They had no training, and they remember. And I'm not kidding. This is very serious. What I'm saying. There's no parody to this. They remember movies like Bloodsport. Okay. They remember movies like Kickboxer or Fight Club, and for some reason, some of these people that I've talked to, they're very close friends of mine. They actually won the fight, where they were able to stop the person from attacking somebody just from a movie that they watched. I have a friend, literally, that used to watch UFC all the time. He used to watch wrestling and all that, and he went to a Lions Den, a Fights Club, whatever you want to call them. We used to call him Lions Den, but he went in there with his brother, and they dominated. Never had a training in their life. They were just going off of what they memorized. Which is, extremely easy to do if you have a good memory. But they just memorized all the the movements that they were doing on the television, and they went in, they dominated. Coach comes by, the sensei comes by. Where are you coming from? What school are you? We've never been to school. We just watch a lot of UFC. So, anyways, what I was trying to say is unfortunately, this is Earth. Bad things are going to happen. Obviously we all started off, not in the civilized way. We were more, you look at the cartoons that we've had, it showed a caveman hitting if you remember that far back in the cartoon era, as kids, we used to watch cartoons where the caveman would knock the cave woman over the head and drag her by the hair. Obviously, we don't have that anymore. Obviously, Disneyland had changed Pirates of the Caribbean. Women are becoming more powerful, and they have been for many, many years, which is awesome. But, it's really, really sad to see somebody like that who was just an innocent person. She was a little girl. And this guy just out of nowhere. And the look on her face, you'd have to be a complete animal to sit there and laugh at that or make jokes about that, like some people have made. And then with Charlie, same thing. These people are out there selling. And, the sad part about it is that it's getting to the point now to where it's been, I believe it's been a week. I believe. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But now it's like, the time, like I said earlier, where people are starting to relax and they're getting back into their violent ways. And they're like, all right, it's been a week, it's gone, it's over. And they're getting more relaxed in their posts. And, Charlie was this and Charlie was that. It's okay. He's been gone for a week. It's really, really sad, the people that have celebrated this since day one. Now, another thing with free speech, you are perfectly entitled to say whatever you want. But like I said, with free speech comes consequences, okay? It just does. Just because you're allowed to say whatever you want doesn't mean you're not going to have consequences for these things that you say. Now, let's say you work for a company and that company deals with the public or children, okay? And you were sitting there online in a video or posting something saying the most horrific things and congratulating the shooter or celebrating the fact that Charlie had passed. Nobody with any common sense or any decency or a heart or a family would ever want anybody like you working for them. Ever. You know why? Because people who celebrate things like that are evil. Evil. Now, criminals, totally different thing. If a criminal goes out there and does something horrible, they deserve the worst punishment in prison. The worst. The worst that the law is allowed to do in a prison. That's fine. And to be honest with you, those kind of people do not belong in society. They don't. They don't belong in society. But, it's really sad. Really sad to see that what has been going on these last couple of months. And the sad part about it is, even the people that said the attack on President Trump, there's people out there saying, oh, it was staged, it wasn't real. Do you know how lucky President Trump was? That could have easily taken a left turn within a millisecond. To be that deranged, to be that hateful, to have that much violence in your heart, you don't belong in society. You don't belong in society. Forgive me, that's my dog. She is a very vocal dog. She believes in common sense too as well. She's agreeing with me. She's one of those dogs where she'll look at you while you're talking to her like she understands it, like she's looking into your soul. Very good dog. She's a very good dog. I actually love her quite a bit. Dogs are amazing, amazing things. It'd be nice to have more dogs in the world and less bad people. That would be amazing. But, it's just, it's really sad, because here we are a week later, and a lot of people are going to go on with their lives. They're gonna function a little bit better. They're gonna block everything out of when it happened, and they're gonna get on with their lives. They're gonna pick a new thing to be stressed out about. They're gonna pick a new thing to like, and they're gonna get on with their lives. But Charlie's wife, Charlie's kids, Charlie's family, Charlie's mom and dad, and and friends, they've got a rough road. It's not an easy road at all. For me, I had a family member pass away. It's going to be, I believe it's going to be 8 years on October 1st. Horrible death. Horrible death. Just enjoying a concert and then gone. Just gone. For no reason at all. Nothing. No reason whatsoever. Just gone. And the sad part about that is once it's fresh, everybody wants to be a part of it. Everybody wants to talk about it. And I'm not the person, oh, can you feel sorry for me? Please, come on, feel sorry for me. I don't want that. I don't need that. I've dealt with this in my own way. Anybody that has gone through something like that, it never goes away. It never, no matter how hard you push it down, it never goes away. But when it just happens and it's fresh, everybody wants to be a part of it, and they want to, comfort you, or they want to, obviously be a part of it in some way, shape, or form. But once it, kind of fades away and, a new tragedy happens like it always does, you could actually say this now and nobody will know what the hell you're talking about. Pretty sad. You could actually bring it up. Oh yeah, I had a family member, this particular day at that concert in Vegas. What happened? They don't know. They forgot all about it because they've had, and it's not their fault. They've had 150 different horrible things happen since then. I mean, when are people going to wake up and realize that these horrible things are just continuing to happen? But this is why I chose comedy. I chose comedy for a variety of reasons. The reason I chose comedy is because I like to make people laugh. Comedy is an easier way to absorb versus, hey, listen to what I have to say. It's crazy out there. People are blah, 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 blah. And scaring you, terrifying you, just making you, comedy is an easier way to where you can laugh, get a little knowledge, and then be like, whoa, wait, what? What was he saying? No way. There's no way that's real. Let me go check that out. comedy is a beautiful way to expose the truth because you're doing it so lightly. You're laughing, you're loose, you're enjoying it. And next thing you know, you're like, there's no way in hell that's real. So you want to check it out. Was the United Spot lying to me, or was that just comedy? Come on, seriously, there's no way that could be true. Yeah, guess what? It was true. It was true. It was true. That's the sad state of events. That's what's happening in this country. And this is just America. I don't have the time to do any other countries. There's no way. But Yukon Man, if you're lurking, Bill McMonagle, if you're lurking, Robin Spillman, if you're lurking, hello. And I hope you guys are having a great night. It's great to see John Castaneda in here, and Tammy and Skippy and Captain Spaulding. Caucasian is here. Brian is here. Night King is here. Daryl Sutton is here. James Farley is here. Randy Weidman is here. Randy Weidman says, YouTube owned by Google. Google owned by Alphabet. Yes, absolutely, 100%. Night King. Yukon Man. You are not just, you are not lurking. You are over here sending $50. That's amazing. And I'm extremely thankful for this. And you sent that half an hour ago, and I didn't even know. I didn't even know you sent that a half an hour ago. I didn't even know. I apologize for not paying attention. Thank you very much for that, Yukon Man. Truly appreciate it. Thank you very much. And great to see you're here. And let me read your thing. Greetings, Desert Nation. I'll be lurking, nursing some ailments. I hope you're okay. That doesn't sound very good. So I'm hoping you're okay, and without being too protective of some of the amazing people in the United Spot community, I would like everybody to say some prayers for Yukon Man here. And hopefully he's all right. Teacher Lynn is here. We do, Skippy. We really do. BSU is here. Teacher Lynn is here. Always love having Teacher Lynn here. Chuck Henshaw is here. Tammy, always great to see you here. Teacher Lynn, boy, I came in at a bad time. You're scaring me. I am not laughing, Mr. Comedian. All the people you know that just, wait. Hold on. I'm having a hard. Go Squirt. How are you? I think I read that wrong. Chuck, I'm sorry about that. Michael MW. Randy, why one thing about YouTube is TikTok use corporation media doesn't it allow? Yes, absolutely. Eric Bernard, I'm sorry. I did not see your comment. You have a wonderful night. Thank you for being here, Eric. I really hope nobody gets upset that I'm not mentioning them, or not necessarily mentioning them, but responding, because the weird thing about this, the timeline on this, it glitches, and it's not allowing me to see real time for some reason. It's very weird. But I'm a little worried about Yukon Man, and I am asking everybody to please say a prayer for him. Yukon Man's been really, really big supporter of not just the United Spot, but this community as well. He's been a huge part. So I'm hoping everything is okay. I know he works really, really long hours. So I'm hoping he's okay. No, Teacher Lynn, I know. No, don't. I read it wrong. Absolutely. No, I absolutely adore you guys. Teacher Lynn is amazing. So Chad just got home from work. That's very late. I hope you get some sleep there, Chad. So let's do this. John Smith is here listening. Thank you. If I missed your comment, please. I got to work on this. I got to figure out exactly what's going on because it's been really glitchy the last couple of weeks. So I'm going to play a video to kind of lighten the mood because I think Teacher Lynn's onto something there. I'm kind of depressing myself. This is a comedy channel, and I'm kind of taking it to the. I didn't want to, but it's really like I said. When that happened, see when President Trump, when that happened, it was easier to heal because he was okay, and he let us know he was okay, and he wouldn't allow us to be, sad. He absorbed all of that, and he did the dad move. But with Charlie and with the Ukrainian woman, there was no coming back from that. And it was so shocking and it was so sudden. It's horrible. It's and I know I've seen some stuff. I'm sure you guys have seen some stuff. But you can't just it's really I don't know how to explain it. But I said to myself, what do I do here? I don't know what to do here. I was so sad. I was just how do you try and make somebody laugh after that? I don't know. But I just it's horrible what's going on, and I truly believe that I really hope that we have a really good wave of positivity coming. This America needs it really, really bad, and if it comes in the form of Jussie Smollett going to prison finally, or any corrupt Democrat or even Republican politician going to jail or being defunded, which would be great. I mean, seriously, I'm pretty sure these politicians would probably do easy federal time, but taking their money away, that's what's really going to hurt. I think America's due for some positivity, some world healing. I think it would be amazing to see that because just when everybody starts getting along, just when everybody starts working in harmony, we kind of realize, hey, wait a minute, I think the government's screwing with our heads. Do I really hate that person? Or am I really supposed to not like this person? Or what's going on with me? Then they come in with phase 2. And all the effort and all the progress gone. Very sad, but just to let you guys know, it's getting close to October 1st, and I hate October 1st. I hate October 1st. It's horrible. But I really do want to try harder to build you guys up a little bit, because I'm doing a horrible job of being a comedy accountant when I'm Debbie Downer over here. But it's so horrible what's going on these last couple of days. So, anyways, just so you guys know, I really hope all of you are doing okay, and I just really appreciate every last one of you for being here. So I'm going to play a video, and then I am going to let you guys go for the night. So you guys are going to be free to do whatever you guys want to do after this, and I'll see you again tomorrow, same time. I promise. I just got kind of a weird thing happened earlier today, and I just kind of had to do my thing. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to play the 4-minute Joker video that was inspired by Yukon Man saying we need more Joker. And this is now my new favorite Joker video. The mask was my all-time favorite. I had a second. I've made over a couple hundred Joker videos, but The Mask was my favorite. Now it's just Hypocrisy is my favorite. This one is just loaded. I love this video. I love this video. And I hope you guys too. Here we go.
It's just rhetoric, you guys. Don't be a jerk. It's for the greater good. It's just a protest, you guys. Don't be a jerk. It's for the greater good. For years, Democrats excused violence in politics. They told crowds to get in their faces, fight back, to take to the streets. Cities burned, businesses collapsed, families were terrorized. And it was all brushed off as justice. And you bought it without a fight. But when Charlie Kirk spoke the truth, they mocked him. When he stood for faith, family, and freedom, they called him dangerous. And when his life ended in violence, suddenly, the same Democrats who cheered chaos for years now ask for calm. Now they preach about peace. Now they beg for unity. And they place the blame on everyone but themselves. After George Floyd, Democrats fell to their knees in the Capitol. Literally! They put on African scarves. They wept for cameras, but when an innocent Ukrainian woman lost her life on a Charlotte train, silence! No kneeling, no speeches, no marches. She didn't fit the narrative, so she was ignored. Come on, it's just equity. It's just justice. How about Kamala Harris raising bail money for rioters? How about Maxine Waters telling mobs to confront people in public? How about Chuck Schumer threatening Supreme Court justices on the steps of the court? For years, Democrats normalized violence. They justified it. They promoted it. They cashed in on it. And now that Charlie Kirk is gone, they cry crocodile tears and pretend they were always against it. And the most dangerous part, millions of Americans don't see it. They're not afraid of the politicians who fed the mob. They're afraid of their neighbors who dare to think differently. They hate those who won't comply. It's terrifying. So many gave up critical thinking. They let the media decide which lives matter. They let politicians tell them who to mourn and who to forget. They just surrendered without asking why. Without a fight. Do you know what's coming next? It's just political violence. Come on! It's for the greater good. Wait until defending yourself is called extremism. Wait until disagreement itself is treated as violence. Don't think it's possible? They already convinced you that burning cities was mostly peaceful. They already convinced you that one man's death demanded global outrage, while an innocent woman's death wasn't worth mentioning. And you followed blindly because you were told to. You're kidding yourself if you think this behavior won't be repeated. With the next riot, the next victim, the next speech they don't like. I don't follow politics. I don't care about that stuff. I don't like to think about it. That's exactly how freedom dies. Not with truth, but with hypocrisy. Not because violence was too strong, but because people refused to see who encouraged it. Oh, they got you. Without a thought, without a fight. Just like France, just like Russia, just like China. Welcome, comrade.
I love that video. Absolutely. Perry, thank you so much for your donation on Cash App. That meant a lot. Thank you so much for that. Truly appreciate it. Good night, everybody. And thank you for being here. Very sorry again for being late. I will be right on time tomorrow at 10 o'clock or 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, depending on where you live. 10 o'clock Eastern time, 7 o'clock Pacific. So I'll be here, and I hope you will be too. And tomorrow is Friday. So some of you hopefully you have some great plans. Jeffrey, thank you so much. Tammy and Skippy and BSU and Yukon Man, my prayers to you. I hope you're doing okay. John Castaneda, have a great night. Thank you so much for your support. Daniel C., thank you so much for your support as well. Skippy, Chad, BSU, Chuck, Tammy, always, Eric, Night King, Teacher Lynn, of course, and anybody else I didn't say goodnight to? Mega. Anybody else I didn't say goodnight to? Go Squirt, and John Smith, and Star, and everybody. You guys are great. Annette Poison. I didn't see Annette Poison tonight. Or Monkey Grab Orange. Robin Spielman, have a great night. Bill McMonagle, have a great night. Yukon Man, you're in my prayers, and I hope everything's okay. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go, and I appreciate all of you. I love you guys, and I thank you for being a part of the United Spot, and I will see you tomorrow. Until we meet again. Good night, guys.